Welcome, welcome.
Welcome back to our Friday night live stream with the Steak and Butter Gang team. I do want to keep it consistent. Every single Friday night live stream, I want to open up with quick introductions to the team of guests that show up, because every week we do have a rotating panel of guests. So Raymond, introduce yourself. How long have you been carnivore?
I've been carnivore 7 years, and I'm 52, and started when I was 45. It's changed my life. I feel the best version that I've ever felt. So we'll leave it at that.
Love it. Lindy.
Yeah, I'm Lindy from Melbourne, Australia, 52 years old, and I've lost 500 pounds on the carnivore diet in 3 years. I recently just had some skin removal surgery as well, lost 20 pounds of skin there, and thriving. Doctor's really happy with me, healing beautifully. So yeah, carnivore for the win.
Now, Lindy, I realize you never really did give a personal formal update on this live stream that we do. Can you give one? So what are your thoughts and what's the latest update on your post-surgery?
Oh, cool. I just had my post-op appointment 2 days ago, and the doctor is amazed at how well I'm healing. My scar is beautiful. I don't need to wear any bandages. Normally I need to wear them another month. He said, everything's looking fine. I don't need to. I can just keep doing what I'm doing. I just have to be gentle, not do anything silly, like jumping on my rebounder or anything right now. But apart from that, everything's healing beautifully. He's very happy with me, and I feel amazing. Just the freedom of not having all that skin on my lap is awesome.
We're so happy for you. Thank you, Lindy.
Thank you.
Todd, introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Todd. I'm the host of the Carnivore Cure on YouTube. I am 27 months carnivore, 41 years old, and I've lost a little over 320 pounds on carnivore. But the bigger things is that it cured congestive heart failure. I was oxygen dependent. I was pretty stuck in the house there for a while. Over 700 pounds was kind of rough, and it all cured up in just 27 months. And so I do this now because it's kind of hard to believe how this isn't better known as the way out for people. So
bravo. Thank you, Todd. And Ellie, introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ellie, and I've been carnivore for almost 2 years. It'll be in May. I can't believe how much my life has changed. I've overcome obesity, horrific gut issues, skin issues, infertility issues. Just, I was a mess and a wreck, and I'm so glad to be on the other side, medication-free, and with the passion to share my story here on YouTube and with my great friends.
Love you, Ellie. Okay, so this is the amazing team that you guys get to learn from tonight. I'm a 6-year carnivore, went vegan to carnivore, and I healed mostly my skin issues as well as tons of hormone healing. So how do we submit questions for this panel? Todd, if you don't mind.
absolutely. So this is 100% a carnivore Q&A with so you can ask us questions about carnivore and anything you've heard from our live stream. So what we would ask you to do is, for super chat questions, we are going to do rapid fire answers per panel, just because we get a lot of them and we're trying to get through them all and make sure we answer them. So put 3 capital Q's in front of your question, and also the panel member that you would like to answer it, and that panel member will answer it. And then super chats do take precedent, and super chats will the whole panel will answer the super chats. So appreciate it.
Love it. Thank you, Todd. Let's jump right in. Also, let us know where you all are hopping on from and located. Put that in the comments. Thank you. Okay, this one is from James. Welcome, James. Question for Bella. Why is butter better for acne than other dairy products? Thanks. I wouldn't say that butter is better for acne than other dairy products. It really just depends on the person. I will just say, so being in this carnivore community and seeing so many countless stories of people healing their skin, dairy products tend to inflame skin concerns. So let's say you're trying to heal psoriasis or rosacea. These skin concerns are very sensitive to dairy products because when you get pasteurized cheese, for example, that's pretty much all generic cheeses sold in grocery stores these days. Unfortunately, it is just a little bit more difficult to get raw unpasteurized cheese, there's a big difference. When you eat pasteurized cheese, because it is heated to a point where all of the enzymes and the amazing probiotics are killed during that process of heating, you're not really getting the benefits of that cheese anymore. So you're getting a lot of the inflammation when you're eating that pasteurized cheese. It takes a lot of self-experimentation, because one person healing from psoriasis could actually be able to tolerate pasteurized cheeses and butter just fine, whereas somebody healing rosacea plus another autoimmune can flare up tremendously if they even eat one bite of pasteurized cheese. So I'm just trying to emphasize each person's different. Butter typically doesn't inflame because it is a pure fat. So that's the reason right there. It is a pure fat. The small amounts of lactose don't typically cause issues for most, although some still get issues. That is when I recommend ghee, Ghee. The lowest inflammatory, hands down best fat that you guys can eat, and honestly be guaranteed no flare-ups, no inflammation, is suet. So write it down. Suet. That's how it's spelled, and you pronounce it suet. For my new carnivore viewers here, such a great fat, such a gentle fat. And I do recommend that you guys eat it raw. Okay. And as disgusting as it is, there are lots of tips and tricks that we can get into. Just ask if you want to know more. Eating it raw, so much more easier to digest than when you cook it and overcook it. Hopefully that helps. Amanda, how can I join the chat to ask questions? You type this, you just asked.
Just like that. Yeah, seriously. So either that, or you can also join SBG, and we do live Zoom calls almost every day of the week where you can raise your hand and you can ask them in video form as well. So definitely come hang out with us in SBG, but on this platform, just comment like you just did is how you ask questions here. So
exactly. So comment your question, Amanda.
All right.
All right. Kimberly, anyone else here listening, or Bella, what do you know about CSID? Carnivore has saved me. I beat my doctor to it. Does anyone know what CSID stands for? All right, let's do a quick Google.
I just looked it up. Apparently, it's sucralose intolerance.
What?
Yeah, it says congenital sucrase isomaltase deficiency.
New one for me.
So rare genetic disorder that makes it hard to digest certain sugars and starches. It's also known as sucrose intolerance. Sounds like all humans, to be honest.
Yeah, I was going to say, aren't we all? That sounds like I have that.
Well, look, Kimberly, do you mind sharing some more details on how it pertains to you and your story and how we can help? We can circle back. Hi, 3 Diglets. Welcome. Thank you. Y'all know anything about hair thinning? My hair is thinning at the crown and wanted to know if cheese is giving me this inflammation to my scalp, or is there other foods I should avoid? Thank you. Well, we actually love talking about hair thinning here because it is a very popular struggle that people deal with these days. I'll answer with just this, and then I'll pass it off to Raymond. The biggest culprit, at least that we as a team see with hair loss and hair thinning, is under eating. That's my answer. Raymond, do you want to talk about that?
Totally tackling under eating would be the most important part. And when we think under eating, we're not talking about, let's say you eat 1 meal or 2 meals. We're not talking about making them giant meals necessarily. You can actually eat throughout the day, and that actually covers enough of your eating. You're trying to get enough supply in your body during certain times of the day so it can produce eventually those hairs. So this is what I recommend also, just like Bella.
Exactly. And I'll speak on the cheese giving inflammation. So similar to the very first question about butter and dairy, if you have, for example, scalp eczema, lots of people trying to heal that as well. I do see cheese typically flare up that scalp eczema. If you have any irritation on your scalp, whether or not you have eczema, cheese can flare it up. So my best tip is swap out all pasteurized cheeses with raw, unpasteurized cheese, UN pasteurized. And the difference is the raw unpasteurized is just so much more easier to digest. Your body can actually eat it, digest it, and absorb all of the great probiotics and enzymes. And it's definitely less inflammatory. So with my skin will act up and flare up if I have pasteurized cheese to this day, 6 years in. So that's why I exclusively eat raw, unpasteurized cheese. Where can you find it? You can go to Whole Foods, you can go to Sprouts. Costco has the best one yet. It is called Le Gruyere. I recommend that one. Hi, Matthew. Thank you so much. I'm in Australia. Yay. Lindy is in Melbourne, Australia, by the way. Just wanted to confirm, if I can join SBG and what your hours of activity generally are. So, Lindy, do you happen to have the weekly schedule pastable for the live chat, maybe?
I don't, but the first meeting is usually around 8 o'clock in the morning here in Melbourne. So, and they finish around lunchtime, so maybe 1 o'clock.
So it's well within Australia, awake hours. So
it's only the one meeting, which is 4 a.m. and that's Dr. Hampton. But you can always watch the playback on that one. So yeah.
Right. So that's a whole point behind why we record all of the Zoom calls that we host, except for our open chat. And Todd will explain why after I talk about the playback. So we record every single Zoom call, priming, fasting with Coach Raymond, which he teaches every single week. It is the foundation of what we teach in SBG. And we have lots of Dr. Q&As. And these are really helpful because skeptical members who maybe not feeling too sure about this carnivore lifestyle yet, it definitely helps hearing it from doctors, giving you confirmation that, hey, you're not going to die, or reassurance. It's very powerful. And then open chat. Why is open chat not recorded?
Open chat's not recorded so that we can be a little bit more open in there and discuss things that are not going to be recorded and played back for eternity. So it's just a place where it's not a coaching call, it's not a lesson, it's just a chat, right? It's an open conversation where we're all can share experiences. But what's really powerful about that is that just like Bella was saying, here in the world, we're all crazy for eating meat and saturated fat, and all of our influences around us will tell us that. But when you get into SBG and you get into the open chat and the Saturday night NSVs, and you actually see with your own eye on camera people just like you and me and everybody else that's in this community that are doing this every day and thriving on it and looking just vibrant and way healthier than your average person that's walking around on the street that's following the standard American, dogma of what diet is supposed to look like. Yeah. It finally sinks in and you go, okay, yeah, out there, it's kind of a bunch of nonsense what they're trying to push on us out there. And you can see it for yourself, just people just like you and me that were sick, that were looking for a way out, found it, and you can watch in real time their health come back. And then with no bias, nothing to sell you, they just are there celebrating their health and getting answers along the way. And it's a really powerful thing.
Yes, love that. And shout out to Todd for creating the open chat into the schedule. After he joined the team, he was inspired by the great things that happened in other carnivore communities. So shout out to MeatRx, which is now Revero, because they had open chat and they had this wonderful format of all the members join in and they just converse. There's a lot of connection that happens when there isn't a structure or a Q&A setting or a guest hosting. It's really just all about the members. So we have that.
Yeah, and I'd love to ask like Ellie and Lindy and Raymond, do you have, because we all have social media presence, have you guys had any luck getting anybody to stay carnivore outside of, a community? Like everybody that I've tried to help that reached out to me from like Instagram or my YouTube channel or by email that wasn't in a community could not hold on because they were pulled away from it because they didn't have support of a community. Everybody that I've brought in to SBG, and this is why I'm here. I'm not doing this for money. I don't get paid to be here. It's because this is where people really find success because they have the community support. It's crazy. But, yeah, I mean, have you guys had any luck getting anybody to stay carnivore outside of a community?
Not stay. Yeah. If I'm coaching them, they behave for a certain period of time, but even community is stronger than coaching. That's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. Because I recommend people that I'm coaching, I'm like, look, you gotta be in the meetings. It's just that much of a help. It's hard to explain it.
Yeah, for me, I did carnivore for 1 year straight on my own, only just having my little carnivore YouTube community. But I found when I was struggling due to a lot of stressful events in my life, horrible events in my life, I found that SPG was like a safe haven to go to. And I felt like I could be open and share and not be judged. There's no carnivore police in there, just helpful friends that are like, hey, maybe you should try this or maybe you should try that. This has been my experience. And there's nothing more heartwarming than being around people who are like-minded like you and don't judge you. And so that's been one of the best things about SPG, in my opinion.
I'm glad you said this, because even early on myself in my journey, I started to first I leaned on videos and everything I could get my hands on, articles, whatever. And then I started trying to meet like-minded carnivores just online, chatting with them and stuff like that. I needed a community. I needed something to glue that. And that really kept me going. So, and then Rivero, which was called Meet RX back then. And then I started just coaching.
Right. So look, unfortunately, I don't have the perspective or the viewpoint of a member, because I created the Steak and Butter Gang as somebody who just wanted a community to make friends. So I went in as, the host. But what I will say is I didn't start doing these 30-day challenges where we do these Zoom calls until I met Raymond. And so that's what it's all about. If I hadn't met Raymond and built that friendship and that trust with everything that he was teaching me with carnivore and fasting, like the Steak and Butter Gang wouldn't be where it's now. It's all about the connection. It grows, it feeds, it thrives off the connection. That's all it's about, really. And so anyone who joins us, we welcome you with open arms. You do not have to be carnivore. It's not Steak and Pork Gang, SPG. It's Steak and Butter Gang. But I know when we say SPG, I'm sure it sounds like SPG, but the website is there if you guys just want to read what all the benefits are. Thank you, Ellie. And the clickable links in the description.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
Really, I want to say with the community, that is the crux. That is the crux of the SPG. But the rest is bonus. The doctors being there, your answers even from coaches, those are all bonus. The community is the key part.
Yes. Shout out to some of our SPG members joining tonight. Let us know if you're part of the gang. Hello, LaDonna. Good to see you. All right, let's keep going. Nora, welcome and thank you. Menopause, pause and gaining weight. Okay, let's see. Menopause and gain weight, get on carnivore. What am I doing? Okay, so I'm assuming what she means is she's going through menopause, gaining weight right now, yet on a carnivore diet. What is she doing wrong? Is there more to this?
Yeah, we need a little more age, how long you've been carnivore, all of that.
Yeah, but we can give a overview of an answer and help.
Right.
Is best advice I can give for this type of topic: menopause and weight gain. We hear it all the time. And with women, like middle-aged women and women approaching menopause, going through menopause, one of the biggest misconceptions is, oh, I'm getting old. The weight gain's going to be inevitable. Literally heard this from my mother-in-law just the other day. Oh, Bella, I can't lose these 15 pounds that I gained. It's just part of old age. No, you can actually sail through menopause and maintain a really healthy and, lovely figure when you focus on eating a high-fat carnivore diet. Not everyone's going to love this answer of high-fat carnivore diet, but look at Dr. Elizabeth Bright's work. She's got 2 books out. The first one is called Good Fat is Good for Women. I'll make sure to link it in the live chat. That one is the best book. Literally every single woman should be reading it no matter how old you are, especially if you're going through menopause. That book is created for you. So if you're gaining weight, struggling with weight, and going through menopause, that is your first homework assignment, is to get that book and read it. It'll change your life. Okay. Any thoughts, Lindy, real quick? Since Lindy, you're probably most qualified for this.
Oh yeah, but I was at an extreme weight, so I'm losing the weight. I haven't sort of got to that point where things have stopped or slowed down yet. So yeah, I just trust the process, and I don't really have a goal weight in mind. I just know that
Right.
I'm doing the right thing for my body, and it's going to end up where it ends up, as long as I'm eating enough and eating the right foods. I'm happy.
Exactly. Yeah. Mindset is everything. 3 Diglets again. Thank you. You know what's crazy, guys? You mentioned what is Diglet, by the way?
I don't know. I'm just a child. I don't know.
Me. It's a Pokemon. It's a ground Pokemon.
Oh,
Cool,
looks like a
cool, Diglett.
Pokemon. Yeah.
Cute.
Cute.
That one has hair though.
Yeah, that one has hair.
Aw.
Yeah.
I'm a nerd. Hi guys. Hi nerds.
Yeah,
I love
I'm
that.
done.
So what's crazy? You mentioned under eating for hair thinning. When I started fasting for 16 hours a day, that's when my hair started thinning. Do you think fasting would be a culprit? Absolutely, it can be a culprit. And that's where fasting can bite you back. And that's also where Raymond's approach to fasting, I stand by 100,000%.
Yeah.
If I could vouch for you, Raymond, I would say over and over every single day that your priming fasting should be the standard protocol for approaching fasting from anyone. Anyone. It doesn't matter if you're carnivore or keto or animal-based or standard American diet. Fasting can absolutely bite you in the back. And it's very easy to overdo it because you get overly ambitious. You get addicted to that mental clarity. Go ahead, Raymond.
Yeah, I mean, it's a balance, guys. We cannot just malnourish fast. We have to properly nourish to fast. So if you're doing 16 hours constantly and under eating at the same time, that really spells out trouble. This is why I like to teach the feasting part, making sure you know how to feast properly before you even get to fast. Once you get to what we like to call nourish fasting, and that's where nuances come in. This is why I teach it every week, because I let you know, hey, how you need to feel to be comfortable to get into a fast. How a nourish fast, I have people doing alternate day fast, one of the hardest fasts you can have out there, and enjoying it and loving it. So to me, it's all about the proper nourishment. Proper nourishment will lead to proper fasting.
Great question, by the way. Good observation.
Great observation.
Yeah. Hey, PS, thank you so much. I'm 10 weeks into carnivore. I now have 4 days of unbearable oxalates in my eyes. Oh no, I have experience with that. It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should I start green tea or should I give it longer to see if oxalates stop? Well, Todd, you have to talk about your green tea experience.
Yeah. My personal experience is start the green tea. It's like you're going to oxalate dump anyways, and it's going to be fine. But there's no use in suffering because it can get way worse. And I thought, I'll just stomach it and I'll man it up, And then it got worse and it got worse. And 1 week turned to 2 weeks, turned to 3 months, and it was miserable the whole time. And now looking back from white knuckling it for the last 3 months, I definitely should have just started doing the green tea earlier. So yeah, just one green. And also you should do it for no other reason than this. If you get the green tea and it goes away in a couple of days, or even immediately, you'll know for sure that it's oxalates and not something else. And so that's a really easy way to do it. And I say, yeah, get the green tea for sure.
I wish I had that knowledge early on. There was even no talk about oxalates early on.
That's true. Like 7 years ago, Sally didn't talk about it yet. Yeah, that's true. Sure. So learn from our mistakes or the lack of knowledge and don't suffer. Yeah.
Let us beat our head against the wall for you.
Yeah. We're happy to do it. Ed, thank you so much. I'm very motivated on carnivore. I've lost 40 pounds in 2.5 months. Wow, that's very good. Congrats. But I'm coming down from 333 pounds. I'm terrified of loose skin / surgery at goal weight. How do I avoid loose skin / needing surgery? Let me have Todd, then Lindy answer this.
Yeah, I mean, look, 333 pounds actually is not that big. You're going to have some loose skin for a while, but that actually stands a pretty good chance of coming back. Especially, did he say how old he was? I don't think so. So, yeah, I don't know how old you are. And also, I don't know if you have a bunch of stretch marks or not, but that's a really good telltale sign, because the stretch marks are actually in the collagen layer under the skin, and that's kind of a telltale sign of how fast your skin will come back. But from 333 pounds, if you're fairly decently young too, I don't think that's going to be that big a deal for you, to be honest with you. I don't care how fast you lose the weight. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, look, I would rather lose the weight quickly and have loose skin and not be carrying around that weight and then let the skin catch up than hold on to extra weight for no apparent reason to only lose weight with the skin as it's coming down. Like that's no good for you. There's no sense in being sick and inflamed longer than you need to be. And also the skin, the looser it is, the more autophagy you're going to have, the more that your body's going to get rid of it anyhow, because ultimately that's what you're looking for. So no, I don't, there's no reason to want to stay. I'm 64. Okay.
No stretch mark.
No stretch marks. Yeah, I think you're going to be fine. I think you'll be absolutely surprised. I think you'll absolutely be surprised of how well you do. I mean, there's going to be some loose skin, but like, it's so much better than carrying that weight around and being inflamed and having joint pain and all the fluid and everything. It's so much better. I would not let that bother you, because ultimately there's nothing that you can do about it anyways, right? That bell has been rung. It is going to be what it is. So do the best you can and get healthy, and don't let that bother you.
Well said.
Any additional thoughts, Lindy?
Yeah, look, I don't have any high expectations of what I'm going to look like when I get to my journey, when I get closer to my goal weight. It is what it is. And I have a huge scar now from my skin surgery. And to me, that's just a battle scar. Like, I'm proud of where I've come from. I've overcome 800 pounds and I'm on my way down, and I will get to where I'm going. I'm not going to look like Barbie or anything, but that's okay. As long as I can keep up with my family, travel, visit all my amazing carnivore friends, I'm super happy. I have my life back. And to me, that's more important than, having a bit of saggy skin. So, just be proud of who you are. Love yourself for who you are, bumps and scars and whatever,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautifully said. Thank you, Lindy, for that. By the way, shout out to all of the people in the live stream chatting it up in the live chat. I just want to shout out you guys, because I see all the time, like, oh, I saw you in Hack Your Health. It was great to meet you. I love meeting you guys in person. And I am the most grateful for the engagement that we get in these live streams, because I actually do it out of pure enjoyment. And I do it every single week now, twice a week, because it's that fun. Okay. And the reason I enjoy it so much is because I get to interact with you guys in the live chat. It feels very different from just posting a pre-recorded video. It is a magical feeling to be able to embrace this community the way that you can through live streams. So thank you guys for joining us always. Okay. Patrick, hi gang, I'm new to this. Should I be concerned about gallbladder stones? Todd, do you want? Okay.
I'll tackle that.
Go ahead, Raymond.
I really want to say this is so interesting. For some reason, when people go on a carnivore diet, they want to worry about gallbladder stones, high cholesterol, this and this and that. And it's kind of interesting when we decide to, say, have McDonald's or have Burger King, and none of this stuff comes up. Why is that? What I'm saying is, hey, don't worry about gallbladder stones. Just see what your journey is going to turn out. We don't know. Whatever it turns out, when it happens, if it happens, which I doubt, then deal with it then, just like it was any other diet that you were on.
100%.
Any thoughts, Todd? With your
I mean, it's along the same lines as the skin question we just had.
Yeah.
If you have a gallbladder stone that you're going to pass on carnivore, it's because you already have a gallbladder stone that you built from your standard American diet, and it's going to break down and you're going to have to pass it. You're better off in the long run. I believe that you have a less of a chance of having a gallbladder pattern in the long run. Excuse me. I don't know why my phone's doing that right now. In the long run, you're going to have less of a chance of having gallbladder problems if you get rid of that gallstone, right? So it's just like the 3 months of oxalate dumping and the detoxing and stuff that I went through. I lost 320 pounds. I'm way healthier. I probably wouldn't even be alive right now, to be honest with you, had I not done it. But I'm still, paying the price of some poor life decisions earlier in life, and I'm detoxing some things. And that's just a bell that we can't unring, that we just have to face. But that's why I like, that saying that the way out is through. You just have to get as healthy as you can, and then face those things, get them out of you, and then put it behind you. So that's how I'm focusing on it.
Love it.
Perfect. Love that. Okay, LaDonna, have you decided, which is Carnivore Camper, have you decided whether you're doing your arms or legs, Lindy?
I'm not sure yet. I'm just getting over this surgery, and we'll see what happens next year. Just definitely have to save up for it and see how I go.
Perfect.
That's awesome. All right.
Toxic Waltz, welcome. Does anyone find it easier to work out since starting carnivore? I'm thinking of starting by getting a power tower to build some core strength before upgrading eventually. What's a power tower?
So I think a power tower. Well, I'd have to look at it, but I think a power tower is just one of those all-in-one
That
rack.
square thing, rack with the
Right, I have one
barbell
of
and all that. Yeah.
Oh.
And I'll tell you what, I've just been looking at, what did you call that guy, the slow burn guy? Right?
Frank. Yeah.
Frank. Yeah. So I have been looking at Frank's slow burn stuff.
Yes.
You can look it up. And so now I am happy that I have the power tower rather than just free weights, because I don't think you can really do the slow burn very well with free weights. And so I do think, here's all that I know about lifting, and I'm not at all an expert, but I'm 41 years old, and since I lost weight, I feel healthy enough to work out again. So I've been trying to work out. And what I can tell you is that if you try to go back into it, to the mindset that when you were younger, I was getting real sore there for a while. So I'm starting to like the low impact cable weights are kind of nice. And I really like what so far the message of that slow burn for not causing joint pains and pulled muscles, so you can do it, because it does make sense to me that the less time that you spend sore, the more likely you are to make this consistent every day, because there's not this huge downtime of recovery. So so I say get the power tower. I think that sounds like a great idea.
Get the power tower and practice the slow burn method. So double whammy. Yeah. Great question. VSP, welcome back. Why is chicken frowned upon in the community? I don't frown upon it. I love chicken. Like, I eat chicken nowadays almost every single day for lunch. I like to now start my days with chicken, and then I'll end it with fatty beef. That right now seems to be working beautifully for me. And chicken, totally fine. I recommend that you get pasture-raised chicken rather than generic cage-free, or what do they label the generic ones? Just generic chicken that's not pasture raised. Like the ones that they sell.
I don't think there's necessarily a label. It's just kind of like there's like nothing on it.
Chicken. Yeah.
Chicken like product.
Like product. I've been getting some comments and inquiries about some content that's circling online about how they clean and wash chicken with bleach. Have any of you guys seen or heard of it?
I've heard that.
Do we know if it's also done to pasture raised?
I really don't. I do know. I don't know about pasture raised chicken, but I know that there's definitely something wrong with just the standard. Like, I don't even care. I'm just like the Tyson store-bought chicken. Most of it's theirs,
right?
And that stuff. I can tell you this for certain, that if I go get a half of Tyson chicken and I give it to my dog, she will have a seizure in 4 hours.
No way.
100% of the time. And I'm not guessing, and I don't give a crap what Tyson person says. That's not true. I've seen it happen now too many times. When I stop giving my dog chicken, she stopped having seizures. It's not a protein overload like the vet said, because I can give her all the beef and pork she can stand, and she doesn't have seizures. But she had seizures for 9 years. When I took away the chicken by accident, the seizures went away. And then we have now given her chicken twice now in the last 27 months since I've been carnivore, and both times within 4 hours of her having chicken, she had a seizure. It is the
Oh
chicken.
my gosh, poor doggo. For me, I love eating chicken. I feel like I eat it like kind of like Bella almost every day or every other day. But what I wanted to say, I think a lot of people frown about chicken is because unlike cows and goats, which have multi-chambered stomachs, there is less of a filter for everything that they're eating. And if the chickens are raised in poor conditions, which is so sad that that happens, but it is our reality, unfortunately, that some people are more sensitive to the less filtration, and so they tend to do better on things like ruminant animals, which have the multi-chambered. So I think that's probably some of the reasons why.
Well, and that's part of it, but the thing is I started researching this after my dog stopped having seizures, and I was talking to a local rancher, and I said, is there a difference? Because I bought chickens for laying eggs, and I'm like, are these the same type of chickens that we eat in the store? And he said no. He said, in fact, most of the store-bought chickens aren't healthy enough to lay eggs. They won't even lay eggs. He said, do you know that the chickens in the store are two species of chickens that don't breed in nature, and they incubate them because they grow like 400% longer in like 1/4 of the time. Larger in like 1/4 of the time, and he said they're so sick. So I watched Super Size Me 2. Go watch that documentary, and it shows what happened to the chickens and how they grow so big that they can't even, their bones break and they have heart attacks all the time.
Yeah.
And this apparently, how gluten is like it's like a misformed protein chain that our body doesn't fit in like our receptors or something.
Sure.
And apparently they're saying that there's a lot of stuff going on with the protein in those chickens that they think is the same thing, where the proteins are like a misshapen protein that the body doesn't necessarily absorb.
Sure.
And so I think some people are just more sensitive to that, and I am definitely one of those people. And I wonder I bet if you really looked, because both me and my brother are real sensitive to gluten, and both of us are real sensitive to that chicken. So it'd be kind of interesting in looking.
And so good point regarding the sensitivity to chicken, because that's probably why VSP feels like there's a general like frowning upon chicken. Is actually the people who come to a carnivore lifestyle, they're actually people who are quite desperate to heal some serious issues in the first place. And so when you have this necessity to heal, especially autoimmune, you will be more sensitive to foods like chicken, like dairy, like cheese. And so maybe that's why you're getting this sense like, oh, I hate chicken, or chicken flares me up. Depends on the person again. You could be able to do great with chicken. Just try to make sure it's a high-fat chicken, skin on, pasture-raised. I eat chicken wings every day. I eat chicken thighs, pasture-raised. Okay?
That's awesome.
I used to have issues with chicken. And just to let you know too, necessarily if you try chicken, it doesn't work for you now, that doesn't mean later on down in carnivore, many years later, that you can't tolerate it still.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. All right. Question mark. Welcome and thank you. What could cause ammonia body odor on carnivore? Ammonia body odor. Raymond?
Yeah. So really, ammonia is nitrogen buildup from the meat you're eating, and then it can cause an offset of the ammonia. The other thing that you'll notice, it can also be because of the ketones coming out, and that makes a stronger smell of ammonia. So I'm generalizing right now at this point. So one or two things that you can try to do is, one thing is, don't eat so much lean. Make sure you have enough fats that will balance that out. The other thing is, maybe perhaps your body is not processing ammonia properly enough. And there are tricks for that to help it process. Amino acids actually do help process it a little bit better. But I would try staying off of that for now and just trying up your fat, see if that helps you.
Perfect. All right.
Thank you.
Sorry, 1 second.
No worries. Hi, Lynette. Welcome. Any thoughts on nutritional yeast on carnivore? I ate so much nutritional yeast as a vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't shut up about nutritional yeast and how extremely necessary it is on a vegan diet. So I only know about it because I was vegan, and that's one of their top recommended foods to not be deficient
So it's
in.
vegan. So it's not yeast is vegan then.
It is vegan. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a plant sourced food, and the reason vegans love that food is because it's supposed to give you vitamin B12.
Oh.
Okay. And we all know where vitamin B12 is most abundant: meat. And guess what? After 6 years of eating a vegan diet, and I was a whole foods plant-based vegan, but because everybody would not shut up about the nutritional yeast, I would add that as an exception. And even eating that every day, I was extremely deficient in vitamin B12 to the point where I lost my period. So, what purpose does nutritional yeast serve, especially if you're going on carnivore? Not to be this strict and direct, but this is just the truth. I really don't think nutritional yeast will give you anything, especially if you're eating beef. So maybe Lynette is thinking of something else that I'm not thinking about. Does anyone know about nutritional yeast here?
From what I have heard from the vegan circles, not that I was never in one, but I think usually they put nutritional yeast in their recipes because it tastes like cheese.
Yes.
Right? It's like,
Yeah.
so I feel like it's kind of one of those coping things. Like, I can't have cheese, so I'm going to eat this thing. And it also so happens to give me B12. So just eat regular cheese on carnivore.
Exactly. And bloody meat. Yeah.
Mm.
That's our thought. Okay. Katie, welcome. Are there any good bone broth brands that don't have non-carnivore ingredients? I don't get enough bones to make the amount of broth that I want. Ellie, what are your thoughts?
I know that Costco sells a bone broth, but I think that most pre-made have at least some vegetables in it. I do buy a pre-made organic like chicken broth just because it is easier. So it's up to you how long you've been on carnivore, if you can handle that or not. I would think that the amount is pretty low, but I'll look at the ingredients real quick on that Costco one because I'm not too sure.
Yeah, no worries.
The other thing I want to say, look, so first of all, with these broth that they do make, there should be no actual vegetable in it. So that part's good. So it is just they just broth it.
Flavor,
and,
right?
Yeah, flavor. That's it. That's what I'm looking
Right.
for. Thank you for that.
Yeah, what I end up doing is I use the kettle and fire, and it still has some seasonings in it. But the reason why I use it is, one, they finally got their head together and made one that was affordable, because those little 16-ounce ones for $8 they're out of their dang mind. But now they make one that's like $5 for 32 ounces. So they're finally back in the land of reality. So so I buy those and they have a little bit of garlic, something or other, and there's like a few seasonings, but very little. But what I do to counteract it is I put a whole bunch of vinegar in with it, which is, I like the taste of apple cider vinegar, and the vinegar seems to kill off any of the oxalates and crap that's in there.
Huh.
And so I use it in conjunction with apple cider vinegar, because I found out when I have things that are pickled, it seems to kill the oxalates. And also when you're they also say that, I think, boiling and decimating. Well, Lee Copus Kent Carnivore was just talking about this the other day, about how one of the things that people with stomach issues on the vegan diet do is they boil the crap out of their vegetables to try to kill all the, boil it down real soft and kill a bunch of the oxalates in it. So being that you're usually simmering in beef broth and things like that, I'm just saying I'm pretty sensitive to things, especially garlic. If I have a piece of garlic, my knees swell up. And I can have the beef broth that has a little bit of garlic seasoning in it out of kettle and fire, and I don't have any reaction to it.
There you go. Yeah. So Kettle and Fire seems to be a very good brand. How about this? Let's all drop our favorite bone broth brands in the live chat. If you buy it, if you drink it. Okay. John, welcome. Are avocados okay on carnivore? Raymond, go ahead.
Avocados, there's no problem in it if you want to keep it. It is not a carnivore food. It is a fruit. Some people choose to keep it in. But what I want to say is, let's entertain the idea of, if you're going carnivore for a specific reason. Give yourself 3 months before you can re-add avocado. I've never had reactions to avocado. I am pretty sensitive, but I'm curious about, like Todd, do you have any reactions to avocados?
I do, yeah. And I have actual reactions to avocado oil.
Yeah.
And you know why that made me mad? Try seasoning your cast iron pans if you can't use seed oils, because it makes it really hard. You have to use, like lard or tallow, but they're a little bit stickier. And so that's being that I'm a cast iron fan, it's hard to season your pans without using seed oils. But even I did find that I have irritation from avocado oil too. So avocados, avocado oil do not agree with me. I get inflammation and I feel it in my joints immediately. But to Raymond's point, exactly. The reason why I know that was because I did really strict carnivore for really like 180 days before I even tried adding things in. But that is the beauty of carnivores. If you can get down to real bare bones and hold that line and get nourished and heal your body and then add things in one at a time, you'll find out for certain what is harming you and what isn't. And avocados is on that list for me for sure.
Fantastic.
Avocados I haven't had an avocado, but the avocado spray has not bothered me personally. But I just want to say this one thing. Who here has trouble buying a great avocado that will last and not get too soft? You're like in the grocery store. You're going to the avocados and you're like groping them. You're like,
yep.
I don't know. So I think they're more trouble than they're worth, to be honest. But it's up to you, John, what you want to be a part of your diet. It is technically a keto approved food, so it's up to you what you want to do. But do you really want to go to the grocery store and just like be groping them?
Yeah. So Max, my husband, eats avocados. He loves them, does great on them. He's animal-based, not carnivore. And what I've noticed, like preparing these avocados for him, is every time I slice the avocados, it's like 50% bruised and 50% perfect.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that was my case.
You can just about pick out a avocado in the store, and by the time you get it to the car, it should have like that crime scene tape around it, because it looks like it got murdered. It's bruised and sloppy. Yeah, I hate avocados.
And they don't last long. If you get it in your house, I mean, you got a few days to eat it.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're just complaining about avocados here, but
sorry, John.
Who cares about the label, carnivore, animal-based, or keto, whatever? If you love avocados, it brings you happiness and it doesn't cause you issues, eat it. Great.
Exactly.
Hi, Kathleen. For Raymond, once you complete priming on level 2 and level 3, what do I do after that? I don't think I'm ready to go to level 4 yet. Please answer this question, Raymond, knowing that we have people who have no idea what those terms are.
Okay. Well, first of all, so I do categorize them in levels. So every month you have a certain task to complete. Level 1 is the priming part, is to fully nourish yourself. It is focused on nourishment and slowly getting into the fasting phase and proving that you are properly nourished. Level 2 starts the fasting exercise and trying to see how strong you are on your fasting state. Level 3 really kind of ramps that up. So they all have a purpose. Now, for your example, and level 4, just to give you an idea, level 4 is created to actually break you. So it's really a lot of rolling 48s. It's more to test, hey, what is your limit? Some people love it. Some people don't feel like there's a limit there, and it's wonderful for them. But I understand your question, Kathleen. You're not ready to go level 4 yet, and that's okay. I actually like it where you just recycle level 2 and level 3. Now, you do have the option if you're curious and you want to learn more. So if you're curious about learning things like dry fasting, elimination diet, level 5 is for you. Level 5 and level 6 is for you. And also what being in the wild means. So there's still lessons there on other levels. I have 6 months worth of levels for you guys to do on carnivore, just to understand your body best.
Fantastic. And real quick, just for new members watching the live stream, how do you do level 1, level 2, level 3, these terms? They're part of the 30-day challenge in the Steak and Butter Gang, and you just have to do 3 consecutive 30-day challenges because Raymond teaches level 1, 2, 3 monthly, just on different days. So you can do that. If you want to access Raymond's level 4, level 5, level 6, you can sign up for his chisel workshop offered in the Steak and Butter Gang, because I know I'll get questions. Okay. Hey, Tara. My husband has SIBO. It's contagious. We are both carnivore, and I'm in the Steak and Butter Gang. Please advise. Is it contagious?
It's contagious? I didn't know that. Small intestine.
Yeah.
Unless she means she has it too, and that's what.
Well,
I don't think it's contagious, guys.
Well, I think I guess she wants advice on how to help SIBO.
Oh gosh, carnivore is the best thing.
It's literally, I think it's safe to say that carnivore can really cure SIBO.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it. I've witnessed it with my wife, for example. She had SIBO and she went carnivore for a little bit and it was just not there. I've heard it from other members. So this is not something that is unusual. And we're not talking about with antibiotics either. So, which is the normal treatment for SIBO.
No meds, no antibiotics. We see this time and time again. People completely getting over their SIBO and curing it, no longer having a single symptom of SIBO. And Raymond, would you say it's because of the lack of carbs and the lack of plant foods that make carnivore? Yeah. So
I mean, absolutely. And you know what? It may be actually, you know what now? Because I saw the comment. It may be contagious because you're both eating the same foods. So that's the commonality in it. So it's not necessarily contagious per se. You're both eating the same food that's hurting you. And then, well, it's going to look like it's contagious. Makes sense now. So yeah, absolutely. So you're giving your gut a break. Most of your digestion is going to happen in the small intestine. You're giving your large intestine pretty much a nice break. And hopefully any of the small and the bacteria just get starved out. You know, they don't have sugars, they don't have carbs to fuel on.
Yeah.
They'll go to sleep.
They become dormant, right?
Dormant.
Yeah. And we also hear just as frequently when somebody brings back in the carbs or they do keto animal-based, the SIBO comes back. So it is unfortunate, but that's why I think carnivore works.
Yes.
Hi, Caleb. Thank you so much for joining us. Always good to see you. Thank you so much.
You saw him in the open chat today.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
how fun. Yay. Happy to hear that. Anita. Hi, I'm Naita and I'm from Anaheim, California. Awesome. My question, I'm on atorvastatin right now. Been doing carnivore for 3 weeks today. Shall I stop the atorvastatin now? And any info would be very welcome. So firstly, this is really the best question for Dr. Phil. Phil's not going to join today, but I do recommend watching Phil's video that I filmed interviewing him on my channel. It's in the posted videos tab, not the live stream tab. I'll actually link it in the live chat. Raymond, any thoughts on this? Do you know this med?
Yes. So first of all, the biggest disclaimer, please talk to your doctor about this. That's who you should be talking to. We don't know your conditions. We don't know anything about you. And even if we did, we won't know you as well as your doctor has that's been dealing with you for a while. Why he put you on there, that's his reasoning. So saying that, I just want to let you know that carnivore cholesterol is so important to the body. Okay. The liver will create the cholesterol. Even if you go vegan, it will create the cholesterol it needs. So we found out in a 2012 paper that it's almost not important if you're not putting the right foods in. But the problem is the liver is taxing itself by creating all this cholesterol. So if it could depend on food for your brain function, for your sex hormones, for so many things. So just to let you know that there is, and I understand your concern. That's why you want to probably stop the statin. your concern is that, hey, am I doing myself a disfavor because cholesterol is really needed to heal my body? I get that. But again, this conversation needs to be with your doctor. Hopefully you can find a carnivore friendly doctor, or maybe start looking up some doctors that talk about that and see if this helps you any with that information.
Yes, but to emphasize Raymond's words, definitely speak to your physician, your doctor. Don't rely on us to give you medical advice, please. Okay?
That's right.
We're not doctors.
We're not doctors.
All right. Carnivore Camper, I'm having a hard time giving up dairy. Ellie, how are you doing so far? I'm still eating yogurt to try and heal my gut from antibiotics.
Hi, this is LaDonna, right?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, LaDonna. I've been doing okay. I mostly have cut everything out except having a little bit of cream cheese, because for me, that's low histamine. It doesn't really flare me up too much, and that's something I can kind of moderate a little bit better. I think that you really have to be dedicated to do it, because it just tastes too darn good, right? And for me, sometimes, because I'm still level 1 priming, so I'm still eating my 3 meals a day until fully satiated. I quit the coffee, which is great. I don't need it anymore, but sometimes I feel like I need a little bit of cheese to like just make me start eating, because if I don't, so that's kind of where I want to do the no dairy thing, but I'm just having a little bit of trouble. So I feel like a tiny bit of cream cheese, maybe a tablespoon, that really gets me going. So I hope that helps, LaDonna.
Yes. Such a good point. I would say this is the most useful part of dairy. I get that dairy has a bad reputation within the carnivores, especially more of the hardcore carnivores who love a very strict lion diet approach. I've tried beef only. I've tried lion diet. I've also tried with raw cheese, with pasteurized cheese. There is a very important purpose to dairy products. It really does open up your appetite, therefore helps you eat enough. And so that's very powerful if you know what you need.
Yeah. Actually, early on, I couldn't tolerate dairy much, but I kept it on just to eat more. And then later on, I can tolerate it. I dare say it's actually beneficial to me now.
Yes.
Strangely enough, especially raw yogurt. But anyways, that's a different talk. Yeah.
Right. We love raw yogurt. John, so if I have psoriasis, I should not be using butter. Okay, so John, I think you heard the answer to the first question about butter and dairy. So it depends. Just from the many cases that I've seen with people trying to heal psoriasis, it could be 50-50, I want to say. Obviously, if you can get your hands on raw butter, I highly doubt that raw butter is going to inflame your psoriasis, because raw butter is it's one of the most magical foods, in my opinion. Experiment. That's the only way to know. See if it flares your psoriasis up. If it doesn't, keep it in, because butter is such a great way to eat enough fat.
Awesome. I think Ellie's got to go too, but it was good having you on, Ellie.
Yeah, thanks so much. Sorry, hubby's not feeling well, so I'm going to go to the rescue.
So
but I love being here, and have a great night, everybody. Bye.
Love you, Ellie. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ellie.
Yeah.
Did someone else have to go?
Nope. Just
in 30 minutes. I might
30 minutes? Okay. No problem. Thank you, Raymond. Oh, Amanda says, remember to hit the like, please. Thank you.
We should remind people to do that, huh? Like and subscribe.
We'll leave it to our live stream community. They do a great job. I don't want to be like that,
I don't even know if it works the same way. I don't know how that works. So
you guys can help, drop in the live chat for us. Thank you so much.
cool.
Cisse, which one is likely to be the problem with egg allergies, the yolk or the white? How do you separate the two cleanly? Do you have experience with this, Todd?
Yeah, I do. I ate a bunch of eggs. In fact, somebody sent me a video about it, and Dr. Barry's got a new video out on that, which is kind of funny. So as long as you're cooking it, it's not a big deal. But if you're eating it raw like I do, which I don't eat egg whites, but it's kind of interesting. He said that raw egg whites, Dr. Barry just said, he said it's the only anti-nutrient in carnivore is raw egg whites. So it was kind of interesting. Yeah, I forget what he said, but he said it like blocks B12 and biotin or something, like 3 different things that it blocks the absorption of in the body. So that explains why. For anybody that doesn't know, I was eating 54 eggs raw a day for to boost testosterone for the DHEA, and I found in a very short period of time that I had to get rid of the egg whites because I was not feeling well. And so I would take. I was actually doing 36 full eggs a day, and I changed that to 54 egg yolks a day instead, and much better. So yeah, the egg whites, there's something nasty in them, which I do. You know, there's something that just does not agree with me at all on the egg whites, but the yolks seem to be fine. And the best way that I separate them is because I do 18 at a time. Is I just crack 18 of them in a bowl, and I have a big spoon that's like that. It's metal. That's very flat, almost like a really flat ladle. And then I scoop the egg yolks out, and that's the fastest way I've found to do 18 of them at a time.
That's a lot of eggs. I can't imagine doing that to all those. Wow.
Yeah, the separation, that's the fastest way I've found.
Awesome. Yeah. And then emphasis on the raw, not cooked egg whites, raw egg whites can cause quite a lot of issues for people.
Correct. Yep.
Great. Hi, Matthew. Thank you. I get the runs nearly daily, and I've been carnivore for 2 months, cutting dairy and just eating meat and fat. Any tips? I also get really dry skin. Okay. Runs daily. Any tips? Cutting dairy, just eating meat. Well,
I had the runs for about 6 months, but I have no gallbladder, so that's probably why.
Oh, I had it for 9 months. So yeah.
Yeah. For 9 months. Yeah.
Obviously staying away from rendered fats, but also just eating a steak cold, having the cold snack instead. That seems to be better for the digestion and helps a lot.
So that tip right there, I'm willing to bet that Matthew doesn't even know about this tip. So if you're cutting dairy, great. But when you're eating your meat and fat only, make sure that you're not eating any melted hot fats. Rendered fat basically just means it's been melted, it's been heated and cooked, it's hot and runny. You'll notice that when you take your hot fats, they turn solid if you put it in the fridge, and they turn like this milky white color. That's the best way to eat the fat. Even better if you can just eat it raw. Like I said earlier, suet, S-U-E-T. So much easier to digest, won't trigger the need to have loose stools. Hopefully that helps. Anita, I'm from California. I started carnivore 3 weeks ago today.
Yeah. I think we got it in a super chat, didn't we?
Oh, right. Okay. Carrie, has anyone in your group seen anyone heal granuloma annulare with the carnivore diet? Raymond?
Don't know what that is.
All right, let's do a...
I think there was another comment from Anna, and I starred that, who tells you what it was.
Okay, so it's a chronic skin condition characterized by raised ring-shaped bumps, papules that typically appear on the hands, feet, and arms. Oh,
I know what that's
like. You see the photo?
You know that Australian man that had that all over his body, that young guy, and he got rid of it with carnivore. He said he used to take Clorox bleach bath just to release his because it hurts so much. You know who I'm talking about?
He's from Melbourne too. I don't remember his name.
I forgot his name. Gosh.
Okay, maybe our community can help. If you know the name and the account, put it in the chat. That would seem like a very helpful source. But he cured it. He reversed it.
I mean, oh my gosh, you should see him. Like it didn't look like he ever had these issues on his skin.
Wow.
But when you saw the before, you're like, that'll scar. It didn't. Marshall, that's his name. Thank you for that. Yes.
Okay, search him, guys. Marshall in Melbourne carnivore. Search that. I'm sure he'll pop up. Okay, Cheryl, help. How do you continue to when you get full after the meal of the day? Should I force myself to continue to eat throughout the day, Raymond?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. So first of all, there's two things. If you can get yourself to comfortably stuffed and still eat 3 meals a day, do that. That's the best option. The other option for people who get full and they just cannot get themselves to eat or even force themselves to eat, smaller portions all throughout the day. Set your clock for about 2 hours and eat to satiation, meaning don't eat too full, don't eat too stuffed, eat to satiation every couple hours, and then you'll make up for it that way. What we're looking for is the appetite to actually naturally open up. So when you do this enough, you're all of a sudden going to feel, hopefully, hungry and you'll be able to eat more. The hungrier we feel, the better we digest. The problem is there's a lot of people out there that's under-eaten so much that even digestion is slow. And what we're trying to do is increase all of that, if that makes sense.
Very good. Michelle, I see you eating a stick of butter in your videos. What brand is the best to eat / buy? I don't have like a recommendation where I could safely say it's the best brand, but I can tell you what I love, and that's Vital Farms. Vital Farms unsalted butter, and I like Truly grass-fed unsalted butter. I also love Raw Farm, raw unpasteurized unsalted butter, but that can only be found in California, unfortunately. So anywhere in the States, you can get Truly and you can get Vital Farms. Why do I eat unsalted butter? Personal preference. I don't eat salt as a 6-year carnivore, and we can talk about it if you guys ask questions on it, but I thrive off of no salt carnivore. Okay, great. Toxic waltz. Related to hair, I've experienced no issues 30 plus days in. Is that maybe because I had already been eating relatively clean before? So maybe my body didn't experience anything too shocking related to hair. No issues the same.
I mean, that's a good thing. You don't have hair issues. You're not. Yeah, no, you're doing good, right?
Yeah, we're not saying that everybody who starts carnivore will start losing
I
hair.
know.
That's very scary. I think the pattern is this. Most people want to lose weight these days.
Right.
Most people are feeling sick and tired these days. And so most of us have gone through the hamster wheel of doing all of the yo-yo diets, all of the calorie counting, all of the juice cleanses, maybe vegan diet here and there. So our body has gone through a lot of stress. And then that stress will bite you in the back weeks after you do it to yourself. So let's say you work yourself out until you have joint pain. You overwork yourself in the gym. Couple weeks later, you might actually see it translated in some hair loss. Scarily enough, I saw the hair loss when I first started carnivore because I was vegan for 6 years, and I was already losing hair well within my vegan years. I just was so stubborn to look outside the vegan box. So don't make that mistake. And if you don't have hair loss, don't worry about it. Don't stress yourself out. That's what it sounds like, right, guys? It's just
Yeah,
not
to
hair loss.
me.
Then
Yeah.
you're good to go. Good job. Hi, Jess. Is it normal to have heart palpitations when on carnivore or low carb? Does anyone have experience with heart palpitation? Okay, go ahead, Raymond.
It's first of all, it's not a good sign to have heart palpitations on carnivore or low carb. There is an issue going on there. Typically, it's adaptation to fat, and typically, what I see is the folks that get it is within the first month or so on carnivore. And also, it can also be not eating enough. So, to a couple things, rendered fats, totally avoid. There are some people who are very sensitive to that liquid fat that it can cause heart palpitation. So that's the first thing I like to eliminate. Getting more into the cold fats. I even tell them if they're still feeling it, leave your steak out for a little while where it gets to room temperature before you eat it. So that's how sensitive they can be. And some people, I would even say, refrigerate it first, eat it cold. I think
Yeah.
Bella even does that, right?
Oh, yeah, it's
Still
such a
prior
great
to the
hack.
face. Yeah. So not that you have heart palpitation, but still that comes in handy. But usually it's something to do with the fat.
Yeah, and then I actually did it to all meat that I ate for a period of time. So any cooked meat like a steak, burger patties, I would wait until it comes to room temperature, and I found that really helped with my nausea. And this applies to heart palpitations as well. Try it.
Yes.
Great. Hyperclocked, welcome. Is fasting every other day the best fat loss approach?
I think, okay, so if you're asking like studies, yes. If you're asking me personally, yes. So I love that alternate day fast routine. But there is a caveat to it. There needs to be a proper period where you're actually you're prepared for it. in hours. That's what we like to do, the priming period, before you even start slowly stair-stepping to that alternate day fast. And there is a limit that you can do before you can get to the under eating portion of it, because alternate day fast can be rolling 48. It can be eating 2 meals. It can be eating 3 meals in between. So you need to be wise when you're doing it, and this is what we teach in our program.
Yep. Todd, any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I did a fair amount of fasting before I found carnivore, and the problem is fasting wasn't a heck of a lot different than a calorie restrictive diet. What would happen is when you get done fasting and you eat, all the weight would come back on. So you just go on this roller coaster because you weren't fixing the problem. And that even is similar on carnivore if you don't prime first. If you don't get nourished and you come into it with a low metabolism, your body's still trying to heal your metabolism. So it's going to still, you're just going to put the weight back on. You're not releasing any weight until you heal your metabolism. And that's what Raymond's priming protocol does the best, is it heals your metabolism. But once you go into it with a nourished body and a healed metabolism, yeah, I mean, fasting, man, it just shreds the weight off. It's crazy.
That's great. Well said. Just eat enough before you even dip your toes in fasting, please.
Yeah, it's counterproductive if you're not nourished, because you're just going to hurt your metabolism more, and you're going to be on the same yo-yo diet you were when you were doing calorie restricted.
Exactly. All right. Has anyone tried? I'm not going to even try to say that.
I know.
It tastes just like caramel, and when you melt it with some cream, it definitely tastes like caramel. Very cool. Has anyone tried it?
Sounds deadly to me. Anything that
I know. I was gonna say that would
calling me.
That would
be a rabbit hole.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, but I haven't tried it. I don't think any of us here have tried it.
Norwegian brunch.
Oh, Norwegian?
Cheese. Yeah, some kind of brown cheese.
Yeah. Let us know if any of you watching tried this cheese.
Oh, it is a caramel cheese. It's a creamy caramel cheese.
So there's caramel in it.
I hope not.
That's not cheese. I hate to break it to you. That's a cheesesteak.
Wait, is there or no? It's just called it.
I'm looking. So it says Sky Queen's Gastro is a firm brown, naturally sweet cheese made with goat's milk.
Naturally.
Oh, naturally.
So
but they call it creamy caramel.
Very cool.
That sounds neat.
Yeah.
It does sound deadly though. Like I imagine I would set some records eating that, because I love
way too much.
Yeah.
And it's goats. Cheese. Wow. Goats, yummy
Dang.
cheese.
Sounds delicious. Thank you for bringing it up. Maybe I'll try it.
I know. I might want to try it.
Yeah. Hi, Greg. Have any of y'all had dandruff go away on carnivore diet? Anyone here? Yeah. You want to talk about it?
Well, so I used to be the type that when I got in the car, I could make it snow, because I had so much dandruff. And I'm sure for anybody with dandruff knows what I'm talking about. And I used to get these huge flakes. Here's the problem, though. There was a time on carnivore, a period of time, and I believe that was oxalates. I got worse, and I was flaking it away all over the place. And then it'd go away, and then it'll come back, and then it'll go away. I mean, for now, I haven't seen it come back in a while, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to come back either. But really, no matter what, it's not near as bad. It's not itchy or scaly. It's more hydrated, my scalp. So that's the part I really like. So yes, in a way it does, and in a way it doesn't.
Okay. Thank you. Scott, anyone? Oh, this is for anyone. I am 54, male, been on carnivore for 5 months, have lost 35 pounds, and I seem to have stalled for the past 3 weeks. Would like to drop another 10 pounds. Any suggestions, Todd?
Yeah, I mean, we need more information. Let's see, 5 months, because it could be a few things, but I don't know. I have so many questions, but honestly, I would join the SBG gang so that we can help figure out why. But one of the first questions is, why do you want to lose 10 more pounds? Do you need to lose 10 pounds, or does that stupid TDE calculator thing tell you that you need to be at 10 less pounds? Because if that's all that you're saying that for, those things are way wrong. They're not calibrated for carnivores by any means, because we put on more muscle and bone density and dense tissue. So that's not a thing. And then, but ultimately for most people, if you want to break a stall, it's actually under eating is the problem rather than eating too much. And so that's where Raymond's priming protocol pulled me out of a 6.5 month stall, and it was incredible. So I would definitely recommend doing that. And we've heard that Tim was saying it earlier in the chat that pulled him out of a 2-year stall. We hear that time and time again about stalling out and wondering why. But also sometimes you could be doing everything right. Your body could just be healing and not wanting to let go of any weight at the time. So
thank you for saying that. Thank you for saying that, because for me, I gained weight in order to eventually lose it and have the body recomposition that I'm happy with, which ultimately I think most of us care about more than the number on the scale. So let's say I weighed more than I ever have, yet I look very lean and strong and vibrant and healthy. It's about how you feel and how you look at the end of the day, right? And so this is another phenomenon that literally happens to all long-term carnivores. 90 days plus is the body recomposition. And we do hear so many of our members report back, typically in our NSV calls, non-scale victory calls, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm shocked because the number on the scale is higher than what I thought it would be, or higher than ever, and yet I dropped 3 pant sizes. I look leaner than ever. My clothes are falling off, right? My pants are falling off. So focus on the body recomp. Scott, you should take progress photos. You will not regret it.
absolutely.
But great advice from Todd. Hi, Cisse. Can eating a lean steak with butter be a good substitute for fatty meat? That's what I do when I cannot get my hands on some really good quality fatty meat. And surprisingly enough, grass-fed, grass-finished beef, so lean. I don't love it. But let's say I can only get my hands on some grass-fed, grass-finished, then I will absolutely be adding even more butter than usual to make sure I get enough fats. Great technique there. Keep doing it.
Great. I just ordered the cheese.
Really?
You little crackhead.
I know, I'm a crackhead. And I've been off cheese for a while too, so it's kind of funny.
Oh no.
Why am I thinking of cheese all of a sudden?
Well,
Thanks for
enjoy
the
it.
invite.
Do
Yeah,
report back.
We're gonna see Raymond call in drunk in the next priming call, and he's gonna come in with caramel cheese on his face.
I know, careful. I'll let you know, Lindy.
Oh my god. Well, I'm
Keep it
excited.
away.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, Kimberly, welcome. 68 female, diagnosed with chronic gastritis, diarrhea, constipation, vomiting, anxiety, constant bloating. I've been carnivore thanks to a friend for 3 months. Thank you all again. I guess she wants some troubleshooting, maybe?
No, I think she's just saying what she's had, and she's
Oh,
yeah. She's been
oh, is it
carnivore.
helping then,
I
Kimberly?
think so. I think so.
Okay, good. Well, let's say it's not helping. Any tips? Just want to make sure she's helped here.
Yeah, that's true.
Just in case.
Well, it's interesting, the diarrhea, constipation back and forth, because yeah, I know that feeling. Vomiting though, so there's a lot of digestive issues here, and with the anxiety, constant bloating, all of that. So during that because of chronic gastritis, during that period of time, I mean, if it's that bad, I would like to lean on like enzymes if I can, or ox bile, or Todd, there was some other things. There's a stomach enzyme that was recommended back then.
What is it?
Betaine?
Peptane.
Betaine HCl, right?
Betaine HCl.
Yeah,
Betaine HCl. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So this is best for the community to help out. I don't think anyone on this panel has too much experience with these types of helpful, they can be helpful supplements. Like, anyone here take ox bile before?
I haven't.
No.
I haven't either. Yeah. You
My
have?
mom's taken it, but
Okay.
but I've never taken it.
Okay.
It helped my mom for sure.
I did try some enzymes, and it was okay.
It's okay. Yeah.
I didn't stay on it.
Avoiding rendered fat is definitely the best thing that you can try first if you don't want to lean on supplements just yet. And if it doesn't work, maybe it could actually help you a lot with your symptoms. Yeah, keep us posted.
Yeah, don't put these nice cheese stuff, by the way. when I'm fasting.
Don't eat the
Thank
caramel.
you.
Hey Raymond, have you ever had cheese pizza?
I know, right? This is the best time when I'm on a fast right now. You know?
Oh no.
Great. Yeah,
That's right.
all of it sounds good.
Cynthia, welcome. I'm a member and I find that the community is super supportive. I think it would be so hard without it. I've met 2 new friends that are local and now we text and call each other. It's so much
Yeah.
fun. That is so
So
magical.
cool.
That is
I
awesome.
love
That's what
that.
it's about.
Thank you for being part of the gang.
Yes.
HG, when did cravings for carbs disappear for y'all? I am 16 days in and I'm not craving carbs
That's it.
anymore. That is
That's what it's
really
about.
great. Wow. 16 days is a really, really fast turnaround for you. For most people, it's going to be 90 days and after for like the serious sugar, sweet tooths and carb addicts. Todd, how about you?
Yeah, well, for me, it was 5.5 weeks, but that was after 2.5 years of ketovore didn't work because I wasn't letting the sweet tooth die. But 5.5 weeks of very strict. It wasn't like I went from SAD diet to carnivore. I went from fairly strict keto, but it was still keeping that alive, to really strict carnivore. And I only ate bacon, beef, ruminant animals, pork, eggs, butter, salt, and water. And that under that it took 5.5 weeks and hasn't been back since. I got the patented Lindy off switch.
Love that. How about you, Lindy?
Yeah, it took me a few months because I don't have a carnivore family, so they're always bringing things into the house, and it's always difficult to navigate that because it starts the thought process again. It's like, oh, this one won't hurt, and I know that one will hurt me because I can't stop at one, so I have to be really mindful of that. And I kind of banned my family not to bring anything, or my husband in particular. He's not allowed to eat anything in the lounge. If he wants to have crap, he can eat it out in the car when he's at work. I don't care what he does, but he's not to bring it in the house. So I've had to put a few rules in place because I still struggle 3 years in, and things come into the house and it does start those thoughts, and it's dangerous for me.
Good job for setting up the boundaries, though. That really is the best way to go about it. Yeah. Raymond, how about you?
Yeah, I mean,
it's going to be back with the caramel cheese.
I know, right? Great. Someone's teasing me about this. I'm telling you.
Yeah, well, you know that counter,
Down,
counter of no accidents at work and 100 and whatever days. And then it goes to 0. Yours is about to go to 0 when you get
but no, the cravings for me, really, it took about a couple of months. But see, for me, there's 2 different cravings. There was the mental craving and the physical craving. So the physical craving is what I can describe as like you can't stop thinking about a certain thing. I had that with like peanut butter, for example. I don't know what's that. I mean, I just could not get out of my mind. So obviously I gave into that early on. But later on it was just like what Lindy was talking about. If it's in front of me, then it starts with thoughts. So that's all mental cravings, right? It's like, oh, I remember what it tasted like. I'm not pulled into doing it. And if it goes away from my eyesight, I'm not thinking about it. So, I would think that was just a mental craving. So the rest was mostly mental. But like I said, after a year and a half or so, I started hating the smell for it. And then 2 years in, I don't even like the looks of it. Like I said, it looks like decoration. So it's a whole different conversation now.
Wow.
Although if you have cheese with caramel, that does.
Well, you did give into your mental craving just by reading your
I know, that was a mental craving there. Yeah.
But it is carnivore. It's fine. Yeah.
I don't even like caramel. That's the worst part. I'm like, why am I interested in that? I just like the goat cheese.
Just the curiosity, right?
Yeah, the curiosity. Does
Right.
it really taste like caramel? How
No.
sweet would that be? Yeah.
No, I hear you. I have the same thing. Alyssa sent me one video of some special beef cut the other day.
Yeah.
And I was 3 minutes into the video and I had ordered it already.
I love that. That's so cool. Seriously, but again, back to the power of community. Within these live streams, we learn so many golden nuggets from each other, from you guys in the live chat. And then in the Zoom calls, somebody can say any random thing, and it really does set a trend in the gang. Like everybody catches on and they all try it and they converse about it. It's really fun. Yeah. Cool. Okay, so Lisa, welcome. I wondered if anyone has experienced healing ME, CFS with carnivore. Do we know what that is?
Chronic fatigue syndrome.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Lindy. I know autoimmune healed, but specifically asking about CFS ME.
What is ME part?
It's kind of like that. It's chronic. It's the same. It's a chronic fatigue portion. Some of them call it ME.
Myalgic encephalomyelitis.
Wow, that's a big name. Yeah. So, remind me. I think Charlene Anderson had Lyme disease. So there's a lot of people with Lyme that causes the chronic fatigue. That has. I wouldn't say. Let's put it this way: they don't need to be on medication. So, would I say it's cured? It's still there. They'll still have flare-ups and stuff like that, but mild.
Mild. Okay.
Yeah.
That's hopeful. Great. HG, any advice on managing scrutiny from friends and family? Yeah.
I point and laugh as they get a little fatter and sicker every day. That's how I manage it.
It did say friends and families. It's not talking about like
No,
they won't be friends anymore.
Listen, if you weren't friends or family, I wouldn't even pay attention to. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't even respond. I'd be like, troll, get away from me. But friends and family, I care enough to point and laugh and ridicule till maybe they change.
No,
Yeah.
you're right.
Man. Well, look, I will say that like I had some judgment that I had to deal with, and definitely the type of judgment that was pretty critical and skeptical, negative from friends and also from family members. And I would just I would say the last thing you should be doing is talking about how carnivore is saving your life and it's the best diet in the world. It honestly backfires when you talk like that and when they're already scrutinizing you. I keep it under the table for a reason, because eventually they'll see the benefits from the way that you carry yourself, from the lack of brain fog when you speak to them, from the weight loss that you will eventually have. And they're going to be like, whoa, what are you doing? What have you been eating or what have you been doing? That's when you start talking about it. That's when they will actually listen, because they're coming to you for the help. I'm sorry that you're going through this. Not fun. Lindy, any thoughts?
Yeah, I've lost quite a few friends because of it, because I'm a freak. I'm weird with what I eat. I don't like to go out and use food as a center of, of whatever we do. I like to go out and go to a movie and enjoy, experiences and people, rather than going out and focusing about the food. So just different quality friends now, and I don't raise it at all. I just keep it all under. I have to kick my husband, because he's always like, oh, carnivore's great, and I have to kick him under the table and say, shush, unless people ask us, don't even say anything. Just, we just eat what we eat and let them eat what they eat. And if anyone raises it, we can mention it. And you just got to, test how they react to it. If some people are genuinely interested, and I'm more than happy to help them, hold their hand through the process. But if they're just going to make fun of it or whatever, I don't want a bar of it. I just like, you do you, I'll do me, more meat for me. And chances are they're eating my eggs and my beef anyway. So
Right.
Yeah, I don't really care anymore. But I was very concerned about it at the start, but I don't care now.
Yeah. I'd love to know anyone in the live stream watching playbacks as well. Comment how you deal with it. If you have to manage scrutiny from anyone, how do you deal with it? Thanks. Tim, hi, from Walker to Walking. Coach Raymond's priming protocol broke a 2-year stall on carnivore way of eating and changed my life. Bravo. That's so
That's
exciting.
awesome, Tim.
We love hearing
Yay,
from Tim.
Tim. We love Tim.
Thank you, Tim.
Bravo. Anita, did we do this already? Yes, we did.
Oh,
Oh, she asked a couple times. Okay. Robin, welcome. I saw something about eating 1 to 2 pounds of meat per day, but after having eaten more than 2, I'm still very hungry. Though my dietitian 2 years ago was surprised I didn't weigh 120 kg. I was 85 kg instead. Okay, so let's see. Is she just trying to figure out if eating 2 pounds is too much or something?
Gosh, you're still very hungry.
And
Gosh,
she's still
go
very
on.
hungry. You need
I
to eat
know.
more. Yeah.
Oh, Bella, help her out, because
Yeah,
maybe
sure.
as a woman
Love to.
weighing that, I mean, she might think that you can't eat that much. You shouldn't eat that much. I mean, how much do you eat?
Here's what I would really like to say. Like, my brutally honest answer to this comment shown on the screen is, who cares about what that dietitian thought? Like, can we stop listening to dietitians, especially dietitians that have not tried carnivore diet? Okay. Not just that know nothing about carnivore, but haven't tried it themselves. Dietitians really, they're taught the wrong things, just like many doctors, and we're figuring it out, right? We're figuring it out. When it comes to eating the right amount for you, you let your hunger navigate that for you. There's no dietitian or doctor in the world who will know your body and your appetite and what it needs better than you. So, Robin, if you're still hungry after eating 2 pounds, you need to eat more. And
I want to add.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'll just
Let her
reference
know how much. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I'll just reference what Todd said because he said it so well. If you don't properly nourish now, you will never get to your weight loss goals. You will never get to your body recomposition. Why? Because your body is always going to bite you back. It will never truly feel safe to lose the weight. So you can force carnivore diet to be a fast weight loss diet by putting yourself in a box of, I cannot be eating more than 2 pounds. I need to be portion controlling no matter what, because I don't want to gain weight ever. Then you will continue to be in that hamster wheel of feeling hungry, tired, cranky, hungry. Okay. So Raymond, sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, well, I wanted to make sure that she understands that you used to eat like 5 pounds of meat a day, right? That's
I
important
did.
to the age. And I wanted to, this Molly Schuler, she's a competitive eater. She once ate 22.5 pounds of prime rib at a steakhouse. 22 pounds.
Wait, so she ate 22 pounds in one sitting?
One sitting.
Dang. Oh my God.
So just to let you know, but she is competitive eater, but still, and she's thin as a rail. So just to let you know, we all have our capacity.
Oh my gosh. I would love to know, like with these competitive eaters, anyone can answer this. I'm just so intrigued by competitive eaters. Are you just born with like a bigger stomach, or can you actually train your stomach to be larger?
You can train your stomach easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think honestly, I watched a bunch of those because I thought, well, I should do this because I have that natural ability. But honestly, I think that when people that don't have like leptin sensitivity are already drawn to that because they're eating so much, and then they're like, okay, I'm going to do this because they don't have the hormone. Like, I don't think you can do that on a healthy diet. Like, I don't think that you could do that on carnivore. I think if you ate that much to competitively eat carnivore foods, I think you would heal yourself, have so much leptin sensitivity that you wouldn't be able to do it.
Can't anymore.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so.
Yeah, because these competitive eaters, most of the competitions are eating hot dogs, like with the buns, empty calories that open up the appetite. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of the comments. It's totally a strategy. You train it. Mukbang. I know what a mukbang is for sure. I used to watch those and be so hungry watching it because I was vegan and I felt so left out. So I would literally watch people eat meat. Isn't that crazy? I was so brainwashed.
Wow.
Sort of. It's still one of my
favorite
pastime. Yeah, when I'm doing a 7-day fast.
I don't know. Why
I don't know.
Yourself to watch?
I like it. I don't know why. It's just like, oh yeah, that's fun. I don't. It's
I get it.
I don't know why, but it's kind of soothing even when you're on a fast. It's really weird.
So soothing. Yeah, I love it. Terry, welcome. Hello, gang. The weight is starting to drop. More weight. Started with 258 down to 213. Super excited. Yay. Feeling spectacular. Goal is to be 185. Not far off. Thanks for the support. Well, that's just a
Terry,
positive comment.
congratulations. Great.
Celebrate that. Thank you.
That's awesome.
Congrats. Keep
Congrats.
going. Hi, Cranky Carnivore Cutler. He's in the gang. We love Cranky Carnivore Cutler. Yes. I find $30 a month difficult at times on a fixed income, but the benefits of SBG are priceless to me. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
We're so happy to hear that.
John's awesome, and everybody go check out Cranky Carnivore. He's got awesome, awesome channel too.
He
And
is a
he's
great member. Yeah,
Great member.
for sure. Erdwin, how much can 800 mg of caffeine hold me back on carnivore? Do we know like around how much
is that?
Is that like a cup of coffee? I'm eating lots of raw meat and fat, a lot more than at first.
That's good. I would
So-
say forget the amount. So just have it as a dessert
Exactly.
after your meats. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That is a really, really great hack. Learned it from Raymond. I personally don't think that coffee needs to be cut out when you go carnivore. And again, a lot of the hardcore carnivores are not going to love this messaging that I'm talking about, but it's about how you can make a carnivore diet sustainable. If you force yourself to give up the coffee, you go through the headaches, you go through the withdrawals, you're just hating life, you feel depressed. Are you going to stick to carnivore past the magical 90-day mark? Probably not. So, however much that caffeine is, just have it after your breakfast. It makes a huge difference. Try it. Hi, Denise. I am 1.2 years carnivore. Eyesight and cataracts have gotten worse. Todd, any ideas?
Well, I don't know what you mean by have gotten worse. So I thought mine was getting worse too. It was actually getting better, but it wasn't matching my prescription anymore. So I couldn't see. So I don't know. Here's all that I can tell you is that for sure, your metabolic health and inflammation is going to change your eyesight no matter what. Like my eyesight healed up so much that when I went in, I had to get my eyeglass prescription changed in a 7-month period of time. I had to go in. It's been now, that was 7 months, and then it's been somewhere about another 13 months since I've gotten these glasses. I have to go back in again because they're already not working. And when I was in there, my optometrist said, because I couldn't get contacts before, and my astigmatism was too much for contacts, and I could not get laser eye surgery before. And now I can, because my eyes healed up enough that I'm now a candidate for both of those things. And I was like, great, I'll probably just start contacts. And he goes, I wouldn't. He goes, if you're doing this carnivore thing, your metabolic health is changing so quickly that they won't be right here in a short period of time. He said, I would wait till you lose all the weight, and in like 3 years, think about doing that, because you're going to continue to heal, and you're going to see it in your eyes for the next 3 years. So with that in mind, I think no matter what, your eyes are changing. I don't know the physiology behind why they might be getting worse, other than if it's not, if maybe you're not matching your eyeglass subscription anymore, or there might be something else going on there, but I do not know.
I want to say, this is the danger part of under eating. When we undereat, healing doesn't happen. It actually does the opposite. So that's why we are so big on nourishing properly first. I don't know your history, and that may not be the cause. But I just want to mention that just for people to hear that.
I love that. Thank you both. Welcome, Jules. I used to freeze a butter MCT oil combo for a fat boost treat. I saw a video saying individually they're okay, but not to mix the two fats because it will sludge up the liver. Have you heard of this? Anyone heard of this?
Sludge up the liver.
I haven't heard of that, but that actually makes some sense, because they're two different types of fat. Like, it's a medium chain triglyceride, and then so they must have me molecularly different. I'm not going to pretend like I know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm just saying that when Phil was talking about apple cider vinegar and Dr. Leslie Keith was talking about apple cider vinegar, I said, Leslie Keith said apple cider vinegar is short chain fatty acid. Phil didn't think that it was, so we looked it up, and it is, but it's surprising because it's the shortest short chain fatty acid. It's only 2 molecules, so it's literally a chain of 2. So, but anyhow, I'm just thinking about that. Phil said, well, that's interesting because it's the medium chain, which I think is 7 molecules that go into the blood and go straight to the liver, and they bypass
digestion.
Yeah, bypass digestion and the lymphatic system. But so if you were to play with that and you were to maybe get some butter riding that coattail of the MCT oil going straight to your liver, and you had butter bypassing digestion, it really I could see how that might do that. I mean, I'm an idiot just wondering if that's how that works, but I can see that.
No, not an idiot, because I used to always say that if you're thinking about going carnivore, try not mixing the other oils. It's kind of like getting an oil change. Why would you get an oil change and mix your oil? To me, that's what makes sense.
Right.
I always tell people, give it at least 90 days, and then you can start doing different fats, because everybody's like avocado oil or MCT oil or whatnot.
Right.
So,
and MCT oil is definitely not an animal sourced fat. So
that's a good question. Is any MCT? Well, I don't know. I shut my phone off.
I mean, it might be. Actually, I'm going to have to check that out.
And you look at, because all that it means is medium.
Oh, it's from coconut.
Yeah,
it's usually from coconut. Yeah,
usually, but a medium chain triglyceride. I'm sure that there's many sources of fat that meet the medium chain. That's why I'm wondering if it's only coconut.
Okay, let's search it because I'm very curious.
Because there's small chain, medium chain, and long chain, and it's like
it's goat milk.
Goat
milk.
Yeah.
Milk from many animals contain medium chain fatty acids.
Yeah. So that's why we feel. Which doesn't that make a lot of sense though? Because that would immediately like if you're a little baby or whatever, give you energy immediately because it bypass
suet and kidney fat.
And kidney fat. Wow.
That's what it
so
says.
suet.
Yeah.
That's
interesting.
Yeah, that's good. Oh, everybody who wants to add the MCT from coconut, we could just say eat meat.
Go with suet.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Fascinating.
We're all learning together. This is why carnivore communities are fun.
It's probably just cheaper for them to make it out of coconut than it is for meat.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I love it. Good job connecting the dots.
Yeah, that was a good question to ask.
Yeah, that was fun.
Awesome. Hey, Natalie, welcome. I'm week 7 of a lion diet and I'm feeling great, but I have gained some weight and my face looks so puffy. Has anyone experienced something similar? I would say that when I first went carnivore, because I gained, I want to say like 25 to 30 pounds. I don't know exactly how much, but it definitely was up there. And I gained it real fast. When you gain weight, typically you will look a bit puffier, just a little bit fuller. It's really not a bad thing. And you're doing a lion diet. So I feel like if you're gaining weight on a lion diet, you're probably doing a lot of healing.
Unless it's histamine. Just be aware.
Okay, that's true. Are you healing from a lot of autoimmune things, Natalie? Maybe you can give us some more details here. If the face looks so puffy, do you think histamine intolerance could translate into puffiness?
That's exactly what I usually see is histamine intolerance is face puffy and itchy and stuff. But yeah.
Definitely the itchiness.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Because if she's doing like mostly beef, what I would do is go down to like the less histamine one lamb. Yeah.
Natalie, if you feel like it could be histamine intolerance, I do recommend checking out Rebecca Heischman because she struggled with histamine intolerance so much when she was healing, and she has the best tactics, the best strategies for healing from histamine intolerance so that you can eat all meats. Yes, histamine intolerance goes away with time and with the right strategies, and she really likes non-aged meats for that. So check out Rebecca Heischman. She has a YouTube channel. Amanda, okay. Last 15 minutes, heads up. And also Raymond, you good on time?
15 minutes.
15 minutes.
I'll hang out for that. Yeah.
Thank you. What a treat. Amanda says, how are people going with high fat? It's starting to make me feel sick, but I'm doing it for my hormones. I am 63. I've been high fat since day one, 6 years in, still very high fat. Not nearly as high fat as my first year. And I'll give you some perspective. Year one, a stick of butter every single day. Many of those days, up to 2 sticks of butter, 2 full sticks of butter. And now I'm eating anywhere from a quarter to half a stick of butter. Some days I just swap out the butter for another animal fat. Like I don't need a stick of butter anymore 6 years in. So your high fat could actually evolve over time. Just, listen to your body. If you're feeling sick, maybe that's a sign you can lay off the fat.
Yeah. And again, rendered fats, we have to mention that every
Yes,
time. So
every time.
avoid. That. Try to go for cold fats as much as possible, especially when you're feeling nausea.
Cold butter. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Matthew. Thank you. Can you please explain the suet thing? Yes, I am happy to. Suet. Thank you for spelling it like that. It's correctly spelled. You can get it at any butcher shop. And I recommend calling so that you don't waste time going to a butcher shop and they don't have it, because it's not like a readily available thing that they sell. I learned that a lot of butchers throw it out, which therefore makes it really cheap and sometimes even free. Most people have no idea about the benefits of suet. So when you get the suet is raw fat cut off from the kidney area. It's all the fat surrounding the kidney. Suet can also be replaced with beef fat trimmings. Beef fat trimmings is just any raw fat cut off from anywhere from the animal. And I personally have tried just eating raw suet and just eating raw beef fat trimmings. Both give me the same level of benefits and great digestion. I eat it raw. Eating it raw will make you feel like you're eating a candle, because it is so like sticky and waxy. It coats your teeth. I personally love it. I love the flavor. I love how it tastes. But if you have that texture aversion, you can air fry it. But don't you guys think that does take away the benefits and defeats the purpose of having it raw? Because the stearic acid
Raw. Yes, the stearic acid.
To a degree when you heat it. Any tips on how to eat it raw?
Man, so I get the primal ribeye roaster anywhere from 19 to 23 pounds, but there's so much fat on there. That tip on there, I mean, literally, there's like, I don't know, 6 or 7 pounds of fat on that corner of that tip that goes all the way down. So, and then I cut those ribeyes, I'll cut them 2 to 2.5 inches thick. So, I mean, they are really, really thick.
So good.
And then, but I cut them, I put them on the rack and they're about uncooked weight. They're probably 3 pounds, a piece. And I put them on the rack to dry. When I take them out, before I put it in the air fryer, I cut that big tip of fat off. That's all fat. And then I put the rest of the steak in the air fryer and I let it cook up. And while it's cooking, I have really sharp knives and I slice those raw pieces of fat like really thin. And I slice them. And then when I take out the steak and I slice it, I put a piece I eat it like it's cheese. I put a piece of that thin sliced fat on top of the steak and it is so good. Yeah. I love that so much.
Yeah, but that's a totally different fat than the kidney one, because it does taste like wax. So I wonder if thinly slicing that.
It probably would taste it like cheese if you put some salt on it.
Yeah.
That's a great little secret there. Yeah. And I did remember hearing some members saying that they cut it into small pieces, they freeze it, and they swallow it like a pill just to get it in raw.
Check out Fire in a Bottle. That's there's a website called Fire in a Bottle. It's talking about how suet actually gets your metabolism to really ramp up. So a lot of people use that as a weight loss hack, which is very interesting.
Yeah, and then I searched it, and the first thing that they talk about is the stearic acid in suet. Yeah, the stearic acid in suet is what makes it such a desirable fat.
Right.
And shout out to Rebecca Heichman, because she talks about it all the time. The stearic acid and raw beef fat, that was her main source of fat to heal so well. And she had a whole slew of serious issues that she eventually healed. So
good stuff.
Let us know. Yeah, try it. Hey, Kat, you guys talk a lot about priming. What if I'm already a volume eater? I lost 60 pounds, took 18 months. I only had 30 more to go, but just stopped losing. Then over the last year, I gained it back about 15. So I would love to know, Kat, how did you gain it back? Did you fall off track? Did you embrace your hunger and it started creeping back? It depends on how you gained it back. If you were gaining back some weight that you initially lost because you were hungry for more meat, therefore embracing the whole priming concept, it's basically, if you're a volume eater, this is specifically for volume eater because I am a volume eater. To this day, I am still a volume eater. And I know Todd and Raymond would agree, and Lindy, because they have seen me eat in front of their eyes. I typically will be the biggest eater at any table. I'm a volume eater and I embrace it and I'm proud of it. So don't ever feel like because you're a volume eater, you should be putting it in a box and controlling it. You should actually use your volume eating power to your advantage because you most likely can be an expert faster down the line.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
helps, right? Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I mean, over last summer, I lost I don't know. I guess I lost somewhere around 130 pounds last summer. And then over the winter, I gained back 48 pounds. Nothing changed. I just gained back 48 pounds. Don't know why. I oxalate dumped. I put on some fluid. It was winter. My body held on to it. I didn't care. I didn't change. I listened to my hunger. And then all of a sudden, I go through the winter. I oxalate dump. My body had some healing to do. I wasn't able to fast at all. I'm like, it is what it is. Then I come out, I don't know, started maybe 3 weeks ago. I've lost 30 some pounds in the last 3 weeks. Just fell off, right? And so I don't even know how much we can really control that,
Right.
and I don't think it's up to us. I think our body has to heal.
Yes.
What the part that I'm doing is I'm eating ribeye, fat, and water. So whatever my body, however much of that my body wants to eat,
Yes.
I don't have any nerves now about my body overeating ribeye, fat, and water. It's not a hyper palatable food. This isn't a binging thing. This is not a craving thing.
Right.
What it is whatever my body's wanting to heal, and it needs it. It likes it. So just let it do it, and then it's going to come in time, and I mean, yeah, it's annoying when you see the scale going backwards, but you really got to throw that thing away because we have no idea from that scale what our body's really working on and what benefits we're getting from it in reality,
Totally agree. Totally agree.
So good. So good. Okay. NEGY. What? Green tea has oxalate and histamine? Does it stop dumping symptoms? Yeah, we get the confusion when we talk about it. It sounds so backwards. Like, why would you add in something that has damaging things? Todd, why don't you explain?
Yeah, it's a little bit like cholesterol, right? You don't eat cholesterol, your body makes cholesterol. And when you stop eating fat, your body makes cholesterol and it starts making more and it shows up in your blood. Well, if you don't eat some oxalates, your body can go through an oxalate dump and it tries to replace it and your body starts creating oxalates. And I guess it causes this. I'm not a super expert in anything, but it starts causing an oxalate storm. And that's actually what's happening is your body's producing a bunch of oxalates causing you problems. And if you have just a little bit of oxalates, then it stops it because it slows down the oxalate production in your body, stops it. And then you get a little bit of a break from it. And then there's a whole nother thing where you take some, you have to look up that Toxic Superfoods book, but you take some calcium and it helps bind to the oxalates and get it out of your body, but it's to slow down the production of the oxalates when you're going through one of these things. And the reason why I use green tea is I guess it's one of the lower oxalate things you can have with the lowest inflammation, impact on your body. So it's a good one to use.
Love it. Perfect. Matthew, really appreciate both the info and how to best consume it, the suet. Thank you, Steak and Butter Gang. That's so nice. Thank you for the super chat.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. Terry, pre-diabetes went away. Wow. Feet do not swell anymore. So many good things, and the mental clarity feels amazing. Yay! Positive update. We love it.
That's awesome.
Congratulations,
man.
Yeah.
That's what we call an NSP, and we have these fun meetings, because every week tomorrow is our NSP and SBG, and we get to hear 50, 70, 100 people all tell they're awesome NSVs. It's so
That's right.
encouraging.
Non-scale victories. That's what it stands for. Anybody
Yes.
here wondering?
Yes. Right. Groove into my tune. So cute. How many cups of green tea a day is recommended, Todd?
Just one, even a half one will do. Like, it does not take much. But I was just drinking. Well, I'll show you where to go. I was drinking one of these. I was ordering it.
Yeah, that's a big cup.
Yeah, it's 24-ounce cup. Yeah, I didn't care. I was like, whatever. I'm not. Well, actually, I drank half one the very first time I did this when I was actually driving to Wyoming. I think when I did it Arizona. I was driving to Arizona.
Nice.
I forget what meetup I was driving to. I was driving to Arizona when I had the first one of those, and I drank a half one. It worked, and I didn't have any negative side effects, just positive. So then I just started drinking the whole thing once a day, and it worked just fine.
Great. Yeah. Find what works for you.
Yep.
Just want to. Toxic Walt says, just want to point out, I read Todd's article on Daily Mail the other day. Yay.
Yeah.
Talk about it, Todd.
There's not a lot to talk about because they never called me.
I don't know how you got on there.
Yeah. I don't know.
They typically don't with these articles.
Yeah. I didn't know that. So all of a sudden people were like, hey, you're in the Daily Mail on Facebook and stuff. I was like, what? Yeah. And they're like, yeah, when did you do that article? Why didn't you tell us it was coming out? I was like, I didn't know it was coming out. I had no clue they were doing it.
Right.
But it was actually the comments were overwhelmingly positive. There's a couple of crazy people in the comments, but they're always funny. There's always so many people that are funny in there. My favorite one was like, he's like, it's too late. I don't care how much weight he loses. He's a dead man walking to lose that much weight. It was hilarious. I was like, yeah, because it actually makes me really happy. And we were kind of having this chat today and our conversation today in open chat is what I love about this is that right now, me and Lindy and everybody else, we're all putting our story very public and it's going to be on the record for forever. So if you guys are right, we'll fall flat on our face. You guys can just laugh and point and have all your fun. But the reality of it is these people keep looking at videos that I made 18 months ago. And they're like, you're never going to stick to this. You're going to be dead in 6 weeks and whatever. And then I get to reply to them like, well, I got bad news. I'm still alive. That video was 18 months old and I'm another 122 pounds healthier, and down. So it's really fun. But what we were talking about in open chat today was people talking about the impact that it's making and what is really impacting people is Bella's results, my results, Lindy's results, Raymond's results, the fruit. They see people that are healthy, and so they can say what they want about these videos, but when they're sick and the doctors aren't helping them and the medicine's not working, these videos do make a difference because now they can go back and they can watch the whole progression of it. And so everybody should get out there, spread the word, put yourself out there, and let everybody help keep you accountable. Because I'll tell you what, those trolls, I read the troll comments because I'm like, oh, this is going to be fun. I can't wait. It pumps me up to just make them wrong, to just go. It's so much fun.
I that's like one of my favorite things about the naysayer comments as well is it motivates me.
For sure.
Oh, you're going to tell me that I'm a danger to society? I'll make extra butter videos thanks to your comment.
Exactly. I love it so much too.
Yeah. But yay, congrats to Todd making it in the Daily Mail. So these things, they obviously are trying to make us look a certain way in a different light than what we're actually trying to talk about. And it's still a powerful thing. Even when they're trying to ridicule us, say that we are promoting something dangerous, because it really does get a lot of exposure to Carnivore Diet. These big newsletters. I was on New York Post, and they actually talked about my story in a very honest way. And so I'm very happy, whether it's negative or positive or neutral, we support it because people will always look at it, and the people who need it will actually look into it. And that's what we want. And then when they eventually stumble across our actual YouTube channels, guess what? They're going to get the help they need. Yeah. So shout out to people like Lindy and Todd who bravely talk about it every single week, despite the ridicule and the hate that they get. Who cares?
Show your moves online. Nobody gives a crap.
All right. So we will wrap up with Gunther. Thank you so much. I've done 9 months of Lion. I'm skinny fat, thin with a pot belly, with a slow metabolism. I don't care about gaining muscle weight, but I'm gaining both subcutaneous and visceral fat, bigger waist circumference. Is this okay? Care
Hmm.
about gaining muscle weight, but I'm
Wow.
gaining both. So it's typically not okay. 9 months line diet. I'm trying to digest this like best as possible. So 9 months of line diet and you're still gaining subcutaneous and visceral fat. How do you know? Are you taking scans, Gunther? Because that's quite unlikely. If you're literally eating a lion diet, which is beef, salt, water, beef, lamb, salt, water.
Well, and then so how much are you eating too? Because lion diet is so hard. It's so easy to undereat on lion diet too.
Yeah, it is.
It's super easy. So I'd like to know how much you're eating too, because if you're undereating, you're gonna have high cortisol, and high cortisol is gonna keep the belly fat on for sure.
Yeah.
That one's a tough one, but I
Yeah.
agree. Just like Bella says, it's kind of there is something off there, and I think Todd's onto something. Under eating is easy to do on that, and you would think you'd lose more weight, but you're totally satiated. Not only you're totally satiated most of the time, you just don't want to eat because you're like, oh man, this thing again. So I'm impressed that you doing 9 months of it, but perhaps, yeah, you were under eating. Okay, well,
Yeah.
there it is.
Yeah, undereating until undereating, especially to the point that it causes you're not sleeping well, you're stressed out. Man, that cortisol, because I'm right by saying this. My experience with it, that cortisol specifically keeps the belly fat on.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, it makes sense too, right? Okay. If the body senses that it's in starvation, what does it do? It's going to hoard as much fat as possible. And that's important because it's going to want to survive through that. So it's noticing that you're not eating enough. Okay. So what happens when you eat enough and then, for example, fast? That's where it takes it off, because when you're eating enough, you're providing a safety for the body. And then you start slowly ramping up the fasting. And then that's where your metabolism starts taking over. It starts feeling relaxed. It starts losing weight. This is why we like teaching what we teach here, is the feasting too fast. And what I would recommend for you, though, is find a way to stop that under eating.
Okay. So I was often under eating by doing OMAD a few times a week.
OMAD.
So look, I talk about this all the time. As beautiful as OMADs can be, you can overdo it so easily. It might actually be the riskiest one because you
Yeah.
feel so good and you never want to stop, and you're slowly hurting yourself and slowing down your metabolism.
It is, and it does cause the cortisol, and also our body doesn't know the difference of being in danger versus being from a famine versus an attack. And that's why they said when you're constantly inundated with cortisol, you get belly fat, because that's trying to protect your organs, right? It knows that this stuff in here needs a protective layer, and that's why it's linked to belly fat specifically on the outside, because it's trying to give you a little bit of protection, because cortisol is like the fight or flight deal, right? Makes you think you're under attack.
I always like to tell people 1 meal a day, which for a short period of time is great. Long period of time, that's problematic. You eat too much and you eat too little. So what I mean by that is you eat too much in one sitting, which causes issues by itself, higher blood glucose. You also undereat because you're not making up enough nutrition to feed yourself properly. So it's kind of like that limbo phase. We don't want to get there.
All right, I want to answer this too, because this question, I know, Polish Mike, yeah, you can, but to what extent, right? When does that stop? Like I dare you to go I dare you go get a beast eating nothing but lion diet meat. Go eat enough. You might gain weight in the short period of time, but you're going to turn yourself off to that. Like your body's going to pick up, and you're going to turn yourself off to that. That's why, yes, on paper, the calorie thing's all that matters to people on paper. And if we were programmable and we could just program ourselves to say, well, you're going to eat this way for forever, and we're going to manipulate our body. But just like if you undereat, your metabolism can slow down and basically slow your daily maintenance. when you overeat, you're going to gain weight for a little while, but your body's going to adjust if
Yeah.
it's the healthy, proper human food. And that's why we don't really care about it in the short term, because in the long term, it's going to, if that's what you're overeating on is carnivore foods, it's going to free you from all the addictive, hyperpalatable crap. And then your body's going to regulate it, which, I mean, our ancestors didn't have to regulate their food intake. That, they feasted and fasted, that's why we're so big on that. I just wanted to put that up there, but I love your content. I watch it all the time. Can we put, yeah.
Nice.
Can we put this up here too? Because Nav is having a hard time.
Oh, well, Nav, we're waiting for you to come join. So the clickable link that will work is in the description box. So when you look at the video right now, the live stream, Nav, open the description box under us and you will see a clickable link. So go ahead and tap on that and you should be able to be directed.
And it's
with no
not
issue.
SBH, it's SBG.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah. It's not Steak and Butter House, it's Steak and Butter Gang. Okay, so let us know. Can you guys actually help me try something? Because sometimes it can glitch. Can you type in SBG Meetup, like it's shown, sbgmeetup.com, not www, just sbgmeetup.com in any of your internet browsers? Let me know if it works for you guys, because it could very possibly be a little glitch, so I can go in and fix it if it doesn't work. Okay.
All right. And then, I want to end on this one.
Ooh, hi, Lori. Bella, SPG merchandise is awesome. Bought 5 shirts this evening. Well, thank you so much for supporting the community, because the merchandise, it's either designed by my big sis or it's designed by one of our members, Emmeline. Shout out to her. And all of the proceeds go into continuing Steak and Butter Gang's existence. And also it helps a lot with the team. So thank you so much for supporting us.
Awesome.
Appreciate that, Lori.
Okay.
All right. It looks like we can wrap up. Thank you all so much for the questions. We know that there are still so many questions we did not have time to get to. That's why we do these every single week. So put it in your calendar. Every single Friday, we go live 4:30 p.m. Pacific, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So look forward to that. And we typically will do a second live stream these days, spotlighting a wonderful story guest expert. And that is typically on Wednesdays, right? Wednesday.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yep.
Beautiful. Any final thoughts, Todd? You wrap up.
Just you know what, these are my favorite things to do, is these live Q&As, because I love chatting with you guys. I know the whole team here loves chatting with you guys, but this is just a taste of what it's like to have community, and what I like people to go get a taste for is in the SBG, the Zoom calls, because I get so many emails of people needing help, and it's so hard to do outside of a community. So I would love to see you guys in open chat over at SBG, and you guys try it out and tell us what you think. I'd like you guys to start giving the feedback in here, because in SBG, what I keep getting is people saying that they didn't realize what the community actually was. They just thought it was a chat group. So I'd love to see you guys there. And then also, we're having a little bit of issue with our website, but we will have it up for those of you that I talked to about an SBG on the Montana meetup. We'll have that up and running, I think, next week. So you guys will be able to get to come check our meetup page and see all the meetups that are coming up here, and we'll start posting those. So,
and this is a different website from the one shown on screen. So the purpose of this new In the Works website is all about putting up our in-person events, in-person conventions that we will be speaking at, meetups, dinners, lunches to make friends. So that will be the purpose of this new one, with the most exciting one happening weekend of July 4th. I would actually put that in your calendars. Yes. If you feel like you would look forward to, the Montana meetup, you want to go to Montana, this is the right time to come. July 4th, you'll see amazing fireworks. You'll see your favorite carnivores. You'll see us and all the carnivores in the community who show up. So details will be announced in probably the next Friday night live stream.
Wait, one more second. I wonder, did I miss something here? Please answer. I paid for.
I don't understand what she's
Please alter glitch. What?
I think she's saying, I think.
Taryn, I see that you're still in the live stream. Do you want to tell us some more details? Yeah, it's kind of choppy, her messaging. I can't
Yeah.
really put it together here.
Me
So
either.
what exactly are you referring to?
She hears us. Shit, thank
Okay.
you.
Okay.
You might have already answered it.
Well, I did see a lot of comments saying, like, I typed in the sbgmeetup.com and it worked. So doesn't look like it's a glitch for now. Let me try. Anyways, we're
Okay.
gonna.
All right.
Yep.
Well, sorry. I thought maybe I was looking real hard there. I thought maybe she paid for a super chat or something. I didn't want
You might have been talking about SPG.
Yeah, but okay. Well, and you can email that email address too, right? If they have
Yes.
issues on SPG. Okay, perfect. And Stephen, we'll
That's a
definitely
long
see
road
it.
trip.
It is. You can when you come here, you can take me back to Florida so I can make Tampa.
That's it. I know.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Awesome,
All right.
everyone. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you
See you
guys
guys
so
next
much, and we'll see you next week. Have a
Okay.
beautiful